the Most High always talked to the elders on passing things down to a child. You know, like in the Bible, you know, it was a lot of people that talked about how Jacob stole the inheritance from Esau. But if you read through the Bible, the Most High said Jacob, the younger brother, you know what I'm saying, will be doing this, will be doing that. You know, it was all.
This is what I was speaking of when it was stated, according to the inheritance of Esau and Jacob. This is a better understanding of what the Most High have chosen for Esau and what the Most High have chosen for Jacob. In Malachi 1 verses 2 and 3, it declares, I have loved you, says the Lord, but you ask, how have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? The Lord said, yet I have loved Jacob, but Esau I have hated. And I have turned his mountains into wastelands and left his inheritance to the desert jackals. Not only that, but Rebekah's children had one of the same father, our father Isaac. Yet before the twins were born or have done anything good or bad, in order that God's purpose in election might stand out, not by works, but by him who calls, she was told the older will serve the younger. Just as is written, but Jacob I love, but Esau I have hated. And furthermore, in Isaiah 14 verses 1, it states, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. You guys can read furthermore in Isaiah 14. It states that as well.
Doing that, you know, it was already signed, but people wanted to make Esau be it. And the Most High said, no, it's Jacob, the younger brother. He's going to have this. He's going to do this. Okay? It's already written. You see how some people tried to change it? No, it's going to be easy. What did the Most High say? His words does not come back void. He said it. What he said. He meant it. He meant it. That's what it's going to be. That's the same thing they try to do to you. Folks, nah, this was so-and-so. It's supposed to be so-and-so. It's supposed to be. No, it's not. He said it was hers. Yeah, that was him. It was correct. Nothing need to be changed. Nothing need to be looked over. Nothing need to be going to a lawyer trying to figure out. Look at that paper. What's written, that's what stands. Exactly. He always talked about Jacob this, Jacob this. I love, this is who I choose. This is who's mine. This is who's of me. He don't know who Esau down. No, he's not chosen. He did it. Most High was very blunt and clear. That's probably why we blunt. Because the Most High, he was very blunt. He made it clear of what he meant. It was no, you didn't have to go to an interpreter. It was no interpreter like, oh, I need to go. No, he said it clear. This is the same stuff he did to you. And this is why folks is mad at you. Because they like, why you? What is the reason? It's like, it's written. This is what's about to come to pass. These people is crazy. And like I say, this is like where you at right now. You're about to get into position. Like I say, the Most High was using these snakes to get you into position. You know, you need to come up. And if you see other brothers and sisters who are still dealing with, you know, this trying to get themselves together with this targeting bullcrap, it's because they not following what the Most High is telling them of trying to get them to come up. They trying to ignore that. They trying to focus on the targeting instead of focusing on getting themselves together. I'm talking about on the inside, inner work. You know, we got to do the inner work before we can do anything. I can't stress that out enough. You know, they doing this to me, they doing that to me. That's not what the Most High wanted you to focus on. What are you called to do? According to yourself. Have you awakened to anything according to self? Yeah, they just like, know what it is, because y'all know we all had to go through the same old thing. The Most High will put you through the same thing, right? But he'll use your enemies, right? And when I start awakening, I start doing research on what was taking place and why me. You know, I wanted to know why. Why was it me? And I was bringing this to people around me, and wasn't happening to them, but it was happening to me. So I'm like, why? Like, what? I'm a postal worker. I'm a mail carrier. I was just outside delivering mail. I'm getting attacked by birds. You know, I'm getting attacked by demons that I actually see. I'm like, hold up. I ain't did nothing. You know, so first thing I did was turn to the Most High. I prayed about it. I was like, oh, I know I ain't did nothing like to deserve this. You know, I ain't perfect, but this is crazy. And, you know, the Most High was letting me know, I guess you need to know about yourself. You need to know about who you is, where you come from. I started doing history on myself, history lessons. See, when you're in this program that they tried to put you at, you need answers, right? You start awakening. That's your first awakening. And you start digging, trying to find answers. You don't just go into panicking, try to focus on what they doing. You like, hold up. Who am I? Who am I? I got the CIA, the NBA, the RNA. Check it for your girl. What is this? I'm monitored. I'm like, what is this? And to the Most High, I was like, man, I gotta talk to her, because she way off. She don't even know who she is. She don't know what's going. You know, this how the Most High was talking to me. You know, like laid back, like, oh, she don't know who she is. She don't know what's going on. I gotta really. I'm over here on the high, and he low key talking to me like this ain't a situation, like this ain't a big deal. Like, you don't know who you is. You gotta learn who you is. Do you think these folks will be coming after you like this if you wasn't nobody? But then again, it don't mean you no can of beans, because you higher than all this. You higher than all this. And they know it. And you gotta get tapped in to know this. You know? Why do you think Christ was walking around the way he did? And they was mad at him. They felt like he was arrogant. They felt like who he is and da-da-da. And because you literally are above this. Okay? You are. This is like a merry-go-round to you. Like, you do this. You know, and that's why the Most High was so humble when he was talking to me when I was trying to get answers. No? Because I was like, man, you slow with answers? I'm trying to figure out. He was like, she still don't know who she is. She's talking about this. She's talking about that. And I'm like, are you serious? Oh, you said you would never betray. You know, you would never turn your back on us. And you said you would never, disown. I felt like I was getting disowned. Man, I told the awakening really start when they put you in that program. It really start. You start having like awakening, all the way back. Like back, awakening, back to back. It's like, dang. You start going all the way back to who you was. It start bringing out the real you, who you is. Once you start getting aware of the witches and the warlocks, I'm talking about the ones that's close to you in your family, you like, hold up, who I am. You know, like, who am I? Why are they constantly on my tail? That will that's the alarm, and then that will get you activating on, you protecting yourself. And that's when you start working on your light force, of your protection. And you start getting into them prayers, and them frequencies go up, and then you start realizing that stuff don't affect you no more. You like, hold up, who am I? Who am I? Because once you start tapping into that, them prayers and the frequencies, that's it. That's it. Then you transmuting stuff that coming to you, and you getting better and better at it. You start mastering it. It start getting interesting to you. This awakening stuff start getting very interesting. You like, hold up, what else that I can do? As far as transmuting, as far as doing this and doing that, it start getting real It start getting really interesting, you know. And then it's like the folks around you start getting madder and madder because, once again, you know, they didn't want you tapping into your gifts. You know, they wanted to hide that from you. And that's why I was talking to Sis. When I was seeing her last night, I was like, do you even know what you're capable of? You know, you up here just sitting there getting attacked like that. Like, ain't you getting sick and tired of that? That should have caused an awakening or something, or an activation. They coming at you with all these, you know, army weapons. Man, that should have activated you. That should have tapped you in. You ain't about to just continue on just doing you know, army weapons is back. Oh no, I'm about to tap in. Something about to bust. Something about to bust. You're not about to keep doing that. I don't care. No. Yeah. Yep. You said that's why they had cancel Lovecraft countries. Why? What did they cancel that for? You find out who you can trust and who you can't trust. Yeah, you definitely find out who you can trust, but the Most High was just using anybody to awaken you, though. Like, to get you to where you need to be. He was using whoever that he can use to get you where you need to be. Yeah. You didn't know that you was in training too. That's awakening too. Like, a lot of us don't understand that a lot of things that we were put through, that was training. You know, that was training for us. You know, we had to go through that. Like, if y'all go see that, I don't know why the Most High keep on bring me back to the Matrix. When he had Neo, he had to go to training. He had to train him and awaken him to who he was. He didn't even know. You know how long it took Neo in the movie to wake up? You was like, man, when this man go wake up? You know, it's like, we already know you who you is, but do you know? It's like a belief thing. It's like you got to come to the knowledge of who you is. You know, sometimes it does take longer. You know, it takes longer for other people to wake up to who they is. You know, and the Most High be like, man, I'm waiting. Dang. You know what I'm saying? Because it is like, when you know somebody and you know that all they got to do is know it themselves. You know, it's like a self-knowing thing. You know, that's when everything happens. When you know. You know, and like I say, I see brothers and sisters and I'm like, oh, she gonna get it. He gonna get it. You know, I ain't even worried. You know, I'm just gonna back up. Because sometimes it could be, the pressure be on. You could put too much, you could put too much pressure on someone and it could be like too much for them. You know, when you want them to do, you know, you want them to get it, you know, and it's just like, hold on, let me back up. Let me give them room. You know, let me give them room because, but hey, we got to though. We got to get to that point, you know, because that's when all this stuff gonna start shifting, when we all wake up. You know, when not everybody wake up, but the ones who's supposed to wake up. You know, that's when this thing gonna shake. Because y'all know a lot of you guys like, man, when stuff gonna start, when you wake up. You gotta wake up. And a lot of y'all did though. This is coming, as you can feel it. It's coming to it's there. Yeah. Yep. It's there. We at the, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of us. That's why they so terrified. You know, they got to keep watching us and monitoring us because they already know it's there. With stuff about to start shifting, stuff about to start moving. You know, this whole thing. All it takes is for us to wake up, and that's it. That's it. Why you think the Most High be having us on strong mode up here trying to help other brothers and sisters wake up? Because once that's done, it's it. That's it. And then they try to put you, yeah, exactly. And then they try to put you around people that make you sleep again, you know. But that's all over. That's all over. We separating, we dividing. You know, this stuff is done, really. You know, it's nothing. They know it. Nothing they can do either. It's all out. It's all out. We all awaken to this whole thing. It's done. Look, that's it. You know, they mad. They're around here trying to keep the illusion back again. No. Delusion is dead. It's done. I'm happy. I'm like, man, I could wait for this moment. I could not wait. I'm like, man, the Most High just said, just calm down, and let time reveal itself. And everybody awakening. Yeah, exactly. And then you don't even want to be around people that those people that sleep and that's spiritually dead. You don't even want to be around them people. It's like you can't even be around them. It's like it's hurting you. It's affecting you to be around them. That's how you know things is moving. Things are shifting, because you really did at one point. You really could sustain that, being around folks like that. You can't do that no more. You can't even be around them. It's like it's an irritation to you. It's like your energy get affected. You like, I can't even be around this no more. Yeah, this is a whole new evolution. This is what they wanted to stop. They wanted to stop this with all they could. But we kept standing 10 toes, and we kept awakening, evolving. We kept going with it. It wasn't supposed to get like that. But we kept awakening to who he is, and the things that they were doing, it wasn't affecting us anymore, because we shift for one. And then, we shift for one, and we awaken for two, and we start evolving higher than this. Higher than this. We're up here, this is Matrix, and all this riffraff bullcrap is down here. How you supposed to sustain someone who's up here and y'all all around here dibble-dabbling with this bullcrap that's not gonna do justice for someone that's back to their original state? You're back. How you is in heaven, that's how you is on earth. They didn't want that. Remember, you had to get to the point of how you was up there. And now that you got there, how you is up there, you got down here, and you the same way up there. They were trying to stop that. Remember, you wasn't supposed to be recognized down here as you is up there. But now that you is recognized just as you is up there, you can't be obtained. You met that mark that the Most High had wanted you to meet down here. They tried so hard. They tried so hard to prevent this from happening. I mean, so many hands was in it. We're trying to frame you and try to make you be as of something that you're not. It didn't work. They wanted you in a whole different identity, ma'am, sir. They had a lot of people hands in it of trying to transform you into somebody that's not like you up there. You beat that. You beat the odds of that. That's not normal. Something going on. Who does that? Who be the same as they is in other places? When it's a whole system, totally different system ran by a whole different kingdom. And you still regulate as you're regulated in other places. Where are you from? Because remember, you're not even from here. And you still claim your position here. As if you was from here. Who does that? I'm talking about people who are in positions and actually have authority and have some say-sos of who's this and who's that and who have this and who can have that, but you can't. And you said, oh no, I'm not even looking for any validation or acceptance of where I'm supposed to be. I already know where I'm supposed to be at. You told them that, hey, I'm not looking for any acceptance or any validation or any support on where I'm supposed to be. I'm about to just be there. And it's just going to be. Who does that? Who sit here and do that? Only but us. This is exactly why they cannot stand us. Because it's like, how you even swing through here, for one? And how did you even make it to the point of where you're at according to your mind? Because everybody down here is programmed to one thing and one thing only. Why is you not? They now starting to get that. They now starting to realize where you from. They starting to figure out who you actually is. And that's why it would always remain the same according to you. Rather they try to steal your identity, rather they try to make it as they're trying to destiny swap you with a different identity, that bull crap will never work. You ain't never going to change because it's within. You already coded within. They can't program you into something that you're not, because it's always going to go back to who you is, because the codes are within. They don't understand the Most High wrote it inside of us. He didn't write it all up in here. He wrote it all in here. How you going to try to erase something that's staying in here? We got the cheat sheet in here. If it was to be, oh, I don't really know. Oh, I'm going to go right on in here. We're going to be back walking around in our regular identity. Back again. Most High said, before I seal her up, before I seal him up, I'm about to put all this up in here. Sealed her up. Sealed him up. Now they're trying to figure out how you know this, how you know that, how you know this. Because he put it in us. It ain't going nowhere. We keeping our identity. It don't matter. That first thing they try to do when you come down here, change you. Change who you is. Change, give you a false identity, a false inheritance. Heritage. Try to confuse you. Where are you from? I don't know. Who you is? I don't know. Why don't we not know? And then here they come with the information. No, you're from here, and this is you, and this is that. How do I know? You just giving me a bunch of papers of something that he say, she say. How are we supposed to know? This ain't going back to a bloodline. This ain't going back to somebody that's connected to me, that's connected to this one, that's connected to that one. How we supposed to know? Trying to give people false information of them. We had to dig deep and find ourselves again. We couldn't go off of them liars. They lie. They're liars. It's going to give you a whole different identity of what they want. So far away from yours so that you won't find who you actually originally is. The devil is a lie. You don't know. We got time. We're going to go back. We're going to go back. We're going to awaken and go back to actually who we is. Who descendants that we really of. Once again, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The royal bloodline. Of the 12 tribes. Yeah. That's exactly where we from. That's exactly what they try to hide. Try to give us this other BS. That ain't West. We the real ones. They got some nerve. These people is evil as evil can be. I bet they're not going to figure it out anyway. How they're going to figure out? We're not going to teach it down here. We're not going to put it in anything, in any classes or of any churches. We're not going to put it in none of that. No. No. We got this. And we woke up like it was nothing. We like, I'm waking up. I'm waking up out of this illusion. Out of this disgrace. Yeah, we got the best lineage. Like, what? I would never forget my lineage. I'm going to say it to the end of days. In the world, and that's something that we should have been taught. But if you guys know, back in the day, they had to denounce who they was. And they had to, like, I'm talking about they was like on slavery. You guys know that. You know, our ancestors and stuff was in slavery where they had to line up and they had to denounce who they was. And if they did it, they will get, you know, there was things that they did to slaves. Because they didn't want them to say who they actually was and who they actually was from. You know, it was a sign. It was like they did some type of a tactic that was, you guys know that? Willie Lynch. You know, the Willie Lynch tactic. You know, on our ancestors. You know? Yeah, yep. Somebody said Kunta Kinte, yeah. Like, literally, he was trying to stand 10 toes until dang near, you know, sick. They wanted to literally get that out of us. Of us being like the chosen, you know, the royal bloodline. They wanted to get that out of us. Like, they didn't want us saying it. They wanted to turn ourselves into a whole different identity. And it was sick. This is how evil these people is. To our ancestors. Because they didn't want to see us of who we are. That's the whole point. They didn't want to see us of who we is. No, you're not fat. You're this. No, I'm not. You know, this is why this is why our ancestors be on us. They live through us to represent. Because they tried to take that away from them. You know? They tried to literally take that away from them. They can't even walk around the world in the earth of being them. They tried to really snatch their identity away. And tried to really put them in a whole false identity. Same stuff they tried to do to us, but we weren't falling for that. That's that same bull crap they tried to do to us. We said no. No, ma'am, sir. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to make sure you know who I am. I'm going to make sure the world know. Craig? For real. No, we're not going out like that. We're not doing that. Not this generation. This cycle ends here. The confusion ends here. You know? This is sick. No, they can't be the ones. We got to stop this. We can't let nobody know that they're the ones. They gonna know, ma'am, sir. And it's with the help of them. They actually helped. They the ones got us at this point of activation. Thanks to them. That's why the Most High said your enemies will always be your footstool. Because they be the main helpers. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have got to the awakening that we is at today. Because the devil, once again, he don't waste his time on nobody. He always go after the real ones. Remember Adam and Eve? He always go after the real ones. Remember Christ? He go after the real ones. You trying to figure out why this devil always on your tail? Cause you the realest. He needs you. He really needs you on his team. But if he can get you out of your identity, that's a plus as well, ma'am, sir. He don't want you walking around being the son and the daughter of the true living God. That's degrading to these people. That makes them feel like they nothing. Got folks turning to you. And they right here. Makes them feel like nothing. Nothing compared to you, of course. That's why they want to take you up out of your identity. They're like, man, if I could snatch that crown, if I could just snatch that belt, then we'll feel like something. This is what they do. This is what they feel. But the Most High said what he said. He ain't changing nothing. He gave who's going to be the first, who's going to be the last, who's going to be the head, who's going to be the tail. He already gave it. Who going to be blessed when they come in, who going to be blessed when they come out. He already stated this. Y'all gonna read Deuteronomy. He talked about this. He talked about how he feel about you and what he did. According, what the whole system is according to you. He said, you're going to be the head. You're not going to be the tail. You're going to be above. You're not going to be beneath. He said, you're going to be the first. You will never be the last. He said, you're going to be blessed when you come in. You're going to be blessed when you come out. Okay? Them folks know about you. And they know the time is coming. I mean, it's right around the corner. You see, folks ain't even looking at these so-called leaders in this dang whatever stimulation. They don't even respect them. They can't even respect them. Folks looking at this stuff as a disgrace. They over here monitoring us, looking at us like when they gonna get in position. The monitoring is really about, when we gonna get the positions, get into formation. That's what they really looking at. It ain't really too much that they wanna know, cause that's it. They trying to figure out when the transition gonna be. That's what it is. He like, hold up, I know it's coming down, so I know the swap is about to take place. They watching us. And we want them to watch. Because we need folks to really get into position. We need folks to really get in line. Really tap in. When they be on y'all lives or if they be on, tapping into y'all videos and stuff, y'all don't block them. They need to hear this. They need to attend to this. Do not block them. If y'all feel as though they listening, and when you be up there talking about the Most High and all this, don't shun them away. They need to attend. They need to be regarding to what's being spoken. The Most High just not using, you according to his people. He using for humanity. He using you for whole humanity. Everybody need to listen. Thus says the Lord. Thus says the Lord. His awakening, his coming is coming. His arrival. He need everybody in tune with what this knowledge is about before the arrival. It's what he like, didn't my representative tell you? He's not gonna want to repeat himself. He'll be like, was you attending? Were you listening to all my representatives that came before me? You know what I'm saying? This is why we ain't doing this just for show. This is preparation. Folks need to get prepped. Ma'am, sir. What they thought? What is they thinking? Yeah, till it's all out, and he need everybody in position. He need everybody in where they supposed to be at before his arrival. It's like a wedding. You know how a wedding is, where you gotta have people you gotta have everybody in position before the wedding. Yeah. It's really going to be a wedding. For some. Not for all. Power Rangers, yeah, we are. Definitely. That was like one of my cartoon shows when I was younger. I like the pink one. I was always dressed up in pink, and I had put something over my head, and I was around there. I was doing all type of Power Ranger stuff in the house. On everything. Wonder Woman, yes, exactly. Man, we were definitely off of that. Yeah, go Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm telling you, we was on go ever since we were young. We didn't know what we were doing when we were younger, but we were still doing it. Okay? We were still at it. We were still fighting. Still on the front line. Young. Yeah, Wonder Woman was really good. I liked it, that movie. It was a cartoon show, but it was also a movie, Wonder Woman as well. Yeah, I mean, the Most High he would trying to get us, you know, you see how he put these movies and cartoon shows in front of us to try to wake us up? He like, dang, you understand? Like, do you resonate? Do you resonate with this? Like, you do this. This is what you do. You know? And we sitting up there like, you know, we over there mimicking it. And it's like, we're not knowing that this is what you do. This is what you do, ma'am. This is what you do, sir. You know, you in the front line. You know, this is crazy. Right now we can laugh about it, but man, this was crazy. This was some crazy stuff. We can talk about it now, but oh man. Someone said Annie Frank, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what Annie Frank. Yeah, that must be back in the day. But I remember, I remember the basics like Power Rangers and Thundercats. Yep, and what's the other one? Oh, even Powerpuff Girls. That was a later more down the line. But I love Powerpuff Girls too. Yeah, but I'm gonna let you guys go. You know, when it's around like 10, that's like 2 hours. Ugh. You've been, oh yep, I had all the Ninja Turtle movies. All the Ninja Turtle movies. I still watch that to the day. Cause the way Master Splinter, the Master Splinter was teaching them, all the turtles, and man, that's a legend. Oh yeah, and a Karate Kid too. I like Karate Kid too. I watched all the karate movies with what's his name? The older man. I forgot his name. The older man who was their teacher. He was good. But yeah, I watched that too. Like the Most High it was resonating, I'm telling you. Yeah, Daniel, that was that he was teaching Daniel, but who was his name? Who was the older man? What was his name? Yeah, that's the lady too. But what was his name? That older, what? Maji? His name. No, that was from the Ninja Turtles. But for the Karate Kid, it was an older dude. I forgot his name. Dang. And I used to watch Lion King too. I like Lion King. Mr. Maji? Oh, his name was Maji? Yeah, it was something like that, but he was a good actor in that movie. I'm telling you, but the Most High was sending us this so that it could resonate with us. But the first cartoon movie that I had watched was Lion King, right? And y'all know I don't know how to say that. Y'all know I do not know how to say his name, but Mr. Miyagi. Okay, Miyagi. Okay, yeah, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, he was. I'm telling you, like we had all type of signs of what we in training. Like he kept showing us through all these movies that we gonna be in training. We in training right now. He was like, man, I telling y'all, you gotta go to training to wake up to who you is. Wake up to your gifts, your talent, all this wisdom, knowledge, everything. You gotta wake up. So I got to send you down this narrow road. so you could come up. I know it didn't feel good. It didn't. That's why we could talk about this right now, because if it was like back then, oh, it ain't no talking. I was mad as heck. I was mad. Oh, I was mad. No, I felt like I got set up, bamboozled. You know? But again, that was the only way that we can wake up. There is no other way. I mean, if it was another way, I'm pretty sure, you know, we would have took that road, but that was the only way for us to wake up and activate. You know, yeah, Mortal Kombat. I used to actually have a video game. You know, I used to have a Nintendo 64, and I used to play that, you know, with my brothers. We'd sit back there, and we used to play. I used to be no joke at that, at Mortal Kombat. But Mortal Kombat is a very spiritual movie, though. If y'all watch that with y'all spiritual eyes, it's crazy. Remember Scorpio? This is the one scene. I'm going to get up out of here. This is one scene off of Mortal Kombat that I took with me. He said, if I go down to hell, what did he say? He said, I'm a rule hell. He said, if you take me to hell, I'm going to rule hell. Right when that scene came, when we thought Scorpio was done, they took us to that scene when he was actually in the dark end of hell, and he was what? He was ruling hell. He was actually mastering and actually was one of the top leaders in hell. And that should tell you that you will never change. You know, they could take you anywhere. You still going to have that same position. It's not going to change. Because the thing is, your adversary, they always want to put you in other places, not knowing that you're going to master and you're going to be the leader there. He said, I know me. Scorpio was like, man, I know me. I'm awakened to who I am. Even if you take me down to hell, I'm still going to master hell and I'm going to rule over hell. That's just who I am. I stuck with that. I'm talking about when I was a kid, I stuck with that. I'm like, man, I don't change. It don't change. Just because of you go in different places, it still don't change who you is. You still going to be that same person wherever. If it's high, if it's low, it don't matter. You're still going to be that same one. Period. They can't change that. They can change your location. They can change where they put you at, but they can't change who you is. Oh, man. I'm going to let y'all go, because I already feel the flow of me staying on here for a whole nother hour. And I know I ain't going to do that to y'all. Especially I got this dog I got to go ahead and walk. You know, I could tell she going crazy. But, you know, I love you guys. You know, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Friday.